Hey everyone, it's your girl Emily Curl. Welcome back to my virtual studio. Today we have a very special guest. Dyllón Burnside will be joining us from one of my favorite shows, Pose. Check it out. 2020 in general has been life-changing and challenging on so many fronts. How have these past few months looked for you now being back, you're settled in Georgia and sort of still maintaining your life that you built in New York?
I don't know if I'm maintaining the life I built in New York. This is like an extension of it. It's the past few months have been, all of the things. It's been a sea of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I've sort of been able to ground myself in is, like you were just talking about, finding ways to still continue my life, finding ways to continue my art and continue my self-expression. I've actually found more ways to do that than I was doing before. Like I felt more empowered to do that because I think the stakes are super high right now. It's like, the world around us seems to be crumbling on all fronts. The world as we know it is like, it's crumbling. And I think it's a necessary crumbling. And so that like raises the stakes in the way that it's like, now's the time to say all the things that you need or want to say, all the things that you want to accomplish. Now's the time to do them, because what else is there to hold on to that's solid? Like, everything is uncertain. So why hold back?
So for this time of reflection you're talking about, what is top priority for you? What's at the list that you feel like is something that you want to do next?
Top priority for me is like my well-being, my mental health, my emotional and spiritual health. And so, this song that that I'm releasing this week, Silence.
I love the song, by the way. It's so good.
Thank you. It really speaks to that journey for me, to the journey for wholeness and wellness. And I think all of us are already whole. We just don't know it yet. We segment ourselves off in ways that are unhealthy because we don't understand and realize our wholeness already. And so top priority for me is really understanding and embracing my wholeness.
But I want to talk to you about Pose for a minute too, and then I want to go back to your music. So Pose, such an important and groundbreaking show, and we're hoping we get those Emmy nominations coming in soon. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned personally from playing your character Ricky?
That authenticity is a superpower. I grew up in the South. I grew up religious. I worked in a church for a year, and when I left the church, I was ousted from my church because of my sexual identity. And I was told that I was ruining my life. That I was going to ruin my life if I didn't get a hold of this thing. And that I carried that with me for a really long time. And I felt like if I was too open about who I am, if I was too authentic, and it's not just from the church, I think it's society as a whole, until this juncture where we are in history now, where we're seeing authenticity be celebrated. As a whole, we've seen people tell queer folks and trans folks and people of color that they need to be more white, they need to be more heterosexual, they need to be more cisgender, that they need to conform to, they need to be more male. They need to conform to these ideas about what's appropriate and what's acceptable. And it wasn't until I started working on Pose that I was able to really break through. And it's still a process. Like we're all sort of unlearning these things that have been indoctrinated in us. And so, but Pose, because of the way the producers and the environment, the work environment celebrated us as full human beings. And I got to show up to work as my full self and be celebrated for that. Like
Such a beautiful thing.
I had never, and that's not even adding the layer of the critical acclaim and the world celebrating the show. But I'm talking about going to work every day and being affirmed for who you are.
I think about too all of the people, young and old alike, watching this show and seeing themselves on screen and seeing representation in a way that they've never seen before. And then I think about, someone like you or someone, our age who a few years ago, that was not the case. Like you didn't have those characters that you got to see and love on screen. So for you, growing up, who were your role models? Who were your idols that you looked up to that gave you hope and gave you joy?
I loved Will Smith. Like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of my favorite shows. And to see how his career evolved from, a musician to being an actor on a television series to being a movie star and an action hero. Those are all of the things that I want for myself. And so I'm already a musician. Silence came out. It's out in the world. People are loving it. I'm on a hit television series. Now I just need the starring movie role, and I'm on the Will Smith track. But Will Smith is definitely a hero of mine.
And you're working alongside Billy Porter. What is that experience like?
It's surreal. It is. It's incredibly surreal. I left the South and moved to New York to study acting and study musical theater. And Billy Porter quickly became one of my theater god. He's a theater god. He became one of my theater idols. In season 2, we got to work really closely together and experience some firsts for our careers and for the show. And that was really fantastic because I got to see what makes Billy Porter so special up close, in terms of how he approaches the work and how committed he is, and just soaking up nuggets so that I can, be more like that with my work. And I think it definitely sharpened my skills, and it's something that I'll never forget. And being able to talk with him and collaborate with him in that process was once in a lifetime experience.
Thank you so much for being here. This has been so great.
Thank you so much, Emily. And I hope you enjoy as much as you can your time with your folks in Georgia, and enjoy the greenery.
The green windows. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stream Dyllón's new single, Silence, on iHeartRadio, and be sure to watch Pose on FX. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.